NDC omo flag bearer for 2024 elections, John Dramani Mahama, ebusuya watutu bi ama NPP, NAFI, Dr. Bawumia. Now the question is Dr. Bawumia running away from economic issues to digitalization, according to John Dramani Mahama ebusuya? Asamono ayepi so afidi osi o yankopon amano adoma chedie bi enu ntino wetumi a discover NPP omo talent yabeko inseminemu into details. When a Bernard Avle, General Manager of City FM, ebusuya the type po na wohwa sania Bernard Avle o kasa ho na ebusuya Bernard Avle versus NPP asamono aya critical yabeko inseminemu into details. Midi e de kojo black trends GH. One cosmetic product I recommend amount a Chloe K we will be our person koko etoso na wutuntum so na hana ibusia product we and I recommend amount when you should product be na reaction anko yi enu it when you na so buy and as a dark spot e wo body baby na we should product we ebeboa wo US no baby e issue a free shipping wo other countries so baby kitwe bi na obetua for shipping na no dey won sa aka wo Chloe K product enu ti mashawa number etwegu e wo screen so na from na ji wo Chloe K product. So John Dramani Mahama ebusuan endra odi nani akiremu ewo tamale ni nyina eye bra odi the building Ghana tour no odi sese so na when John Dramani Mahama ebusuan no de ochem say oh what say NPP for ni bi omo kekan bi especially Dr. Bawumia na wo hwe sania Mahama ni abre wo ho na edru bebi kra na waye emotional ebusuan yentie first part way embra.
Now all those who contributed to the mess are trying to run away as if they were not part of it. People have begun saying, oh, they were not in charge, they were not listening to them and all that. All of them, they inside. Jack Toronto and all his small brothers, all of them are part of the mess that we're going through. None of them can escape responsibility, none of them. And let me put this thing to rest once and for all. They always talk about the mess John Mahama left us, the economic mess he left us. I mean, let's just go down a comparison lane. When I left office, the debt to GDP was 57%. Today, the debt to GDP is more than 100%. It means if you take all Ghana's GDP and you turn it into money, you use it to pay all our debts and you still owe 3%. When we left office, the budget deficit was 6.6%. Today, the budget deficit, it even went to 15%. It has now started dropping. When we left office, inflation was 15.5%. Inflation under this government went to 54% and is only now dropping. It's about 30%. When we left office, cocoa production was 960,000 metric tons. And we went for syndication loan of $1.8 billion, brought $1.8 billion into this country. Today, cocoa production is under 500,000 tons. And so what are you talking about? You can't compare the economy under us. When we left office, we gave you 2 new oil fields. All the work that we did as NDC was with one oil field, the Jubilee field. We worked and brought the 10 field and the Sankofa field into production. And so it made oil revenues triple. When we left office, we had solved Dumso. We bought enough generation. We established ESLA to pay the legacy debt. Today, Dumso is back. You can't pay the independent producers. And all of you know Dumso is back, just that they don't want to announce a timetable. Before I left office, the IMF said that Ghana's economy was going to grow by 8%. And it grew by 8% and more in 2017. And in 2018, it dropped when their own policies started kicking in. So that myth about you left us a mess, you left us a mess. When you came into office, the akufo-addo bond was left with 270 million to pay. Where did you get that money to pay? Mahama left it in the sinking fund because I knew that debt was coming up. That was visionary because I knew that if a new government came, it was going to be difficult to find 270 million at once to pay off the akufo-addo bond. So we left it in the sinking fund. They came and met it. In October, they just took it and paid the Eurobond. And after that, they didn't put any money in the sinking fund again. That's why when COVID hit, we had no money to defend ourselves. I set up the stabilization fund. When COVID hit, they didn't know where to find money. We told them, go and look in the stabilization fund. I left money in there. Went and took 300 million, from the stabilization fund. I set up the Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund, the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, and I put $270 million seed money in that fund. Today, that's what you are using to build your Agenda 111 hospitals. So how can I have left you a mess? They are good at propaganda. And so they just keep repeating something. Oh, we came and met your mess. We came and met your mess. That propaganda must stop once and for all. You didn't inherit a mess. You inherited an economy that was doing well. It is you, by your mismanagement, your clueless finance minister, and your clueless head of economic management team, who now wants to run away from economic issues to become the champion of digitalization. It is they who have created this mess.
When John Dramani Mahama si onweye, ono yankopon amano adoma chede foforo a sesi ano gotumi discover NPP or more talent. No na amafo chim say na John Dramani Mahama.
The good thing our people have, our friends in the NPP, is they know how to talk. They are very glib talkers. They are good at showing propaganda, and they believe that at any time they can talk and convince the people of Ghana. But we are the wiser now. All the things they did, the promises they made, they have not kept one of them. How many people's districts have a factory? After the one district, one factory promise. How many districts here have a factory? Even the ones that have, there's nothing there. Those in Waliwali district, there's a factory there, watermelon. There's no equipment in the factory. Is the building going to process the watermelon? You need machines to process the watermelon. At least in my district, Bole district, we have no factory there. There is no intention of building any factory. One village, one dam. They came and dug some small ponds. Even when cows drink the water, the water finishes. And so they can't deceive us this time. Yet Isikasu, I come there, it won't work again. I worked in Bank of Ghana. I know the money is there. Today, where is that money?
Ebusaiti John Dramani Mahama in some way no dia ba bonten ebi okwa na questions or dem NPP. So omombra bonten no mumbechim. Na ende yes Dr. Bawumia, Mr. Digital, head of economic management team. Bawumia bakasa. Yes. Our Martin D. Bawumia speaks. Ghana's next chapter. No way Anna Bernard Avle say answer na Bawumia bakasa no. Just say Oshasania economy way elkopa. It was Bernard. Neni abre. E drew baby na kasano na eyajro.
The government itself is in a very difficult position. You have the national organizer of the ruling party going out to say that the latest tax initiative of the government must be reversed. Now that tells you there's a bit of a problem. Mm-hmm. The party's views about the fiscal policies and the government's view about the fiscal policies are not the same. Mm-hmm. So Nana B went out to say the VAT on electricity must be scrapped. Who has the ultimate gravitas in government now? Is it a finance minister? Is it a vice president? Is it the president himself? Is it a governor? Because they've all come under fire. NDC has been on the governor's heels for long. Finance minister, as far as some people in parliament are concerned, persona non grata. Mm-hmm. You see, the vice president too, like, we don't know where he is. He's going to speak tomorrow. He hasn't come out to say anything about the e-levy. Mm-hmm. So who's going to rise and say, you get me? Like, I don't see a central force to say, look, let me own this problem. Mm-hmm. Where is the leadership? Who's taking charge? Is it the president himself? Or is it because he's not on the ballot anymore? Are the people in the vice president team on the same page as the president? Mm-hmm. What are we trying to achieve? Are we still stabilizing? Is the World Bank and IMF, the guys telling us? I don't simply know what's going on. Somebody has to rise to the occasion and say, look, these kinds of policies are hurting the people. They are destroying people's businesses and lives. Talk to FABAC, talk to Guta, talk to TUC. Everybody is suffering. What on earth is going on? This is a government that claimed they were going from taxation to production. Where is the production? From August 2022, the composite index of economic activity has been registering negative. The composite index of economic activity puts together the total production of the economy. It's an index. It's been negative since August 2022. How is that production?
Since August 2022.
I showed the figures on my Kinke show yesterday.
Yeah.
There's something fundamentally wrong with the way the economy is being managed, right? The kinds of taxes we are being charged, it doesn't even make sense. You are paying all kinds of taxes. You are being hounded every day with tax audits. The tax levels are rising. If I start mentioning the taxes companies have to pay, because I'm in management, I know this. It doesn't make sense to do business in Ghana. That's what everybody's doing, buying and selling. You can't produce anything. Ask anybody producing anything in Ghana how they survive. All kinds of taxes. All kinds, direct and indirect. Plenty. When you buy something when you import something, there are over 25 tax items on the thing you are importing. Meanwhile, if you said that was an import substitution strategy, why aren't you giving the tax break to those who are manufacturing?
Locally.
All right? Okay. The VAT rate is ostensibly 15%. You are paying 21% VAT. Do you know what 21% VAT means? How can you compete? Your interest rates are through the roof. Your exchange rate is not even that strong. How are you going to compete? Everybody's doing buying and selling. Everybody's corrupt. The economy that we are running doesn't make any sense. Somebody has to take responsibility and deal with the matters. Don't squeeze us. We are not the one who caused the problem. We didn't squander the COVID money. Why are you punishing us for your mismanagement? Why are we the ones to bear the brunt of this economic thing? What have we done? So people are leaving. All those guys who are going to the US and things, why do you think they are going? Talk to a businessman and how he runs his business. You'll be shocked. It's difficult. You can list all the taxes and they keep changing the calibrations. VAT, flat rate, this, energy sector levy, 30% increase, special petroleum tax, 11% increase, bust margin increase, stabilization and recovery levy, primary distribution margin, UPPF something, e-levy, excise duty amendment, growth and stability levy, GRA. Why? Is it our fault? Are we the ones who did what did we do to cause that? Is it what we did do?
We didn't do that.
I'm sitting somewhere in my house. The money I've invested, you've taken some away. Now you are adding more taxes. COVID levy still paying. Now financial stabilization levy still there. Now you want to do VAT on electricity. Then now emissions levy. How do you pay an emissions levy when there's no proven market for electronic vehicles? Emissions levy only makes sense when you have to make a choice. If you're in the US, probably 25% or 30% of cars are EVs, if not more. So if you decide to buy a fossil fuel car, the punishment for that is like an emission or congestion tax. You can choose to use the N1. If you choose to use London, you pay $8 or £8. How on earth are you charging an emissions levy for a country that doesn't have a proven EV market? How? Do you get it? It's not like if I had money to buy a car today, I'll have an EV to buy. I won't have any EV to buy. So why are you charging me emissions levy? For what? So anything we think about, we apply a tax to it. What kind of system is this? And you get surprised that people are struggling and leaving the country in droves? No. Somebody has to stand up and take responsibility for this economic mess. Somebody has to stand up. So this meeting they shouldn't cheat us. Our 2% will collect it too. These 2% then things they are taking, banks sitting there collecting. When you send money to your wallet, you take your money. For what? What work do they do to get all the money they get? Then the small money you go and earn as a plumber, you send to your momo, they are collecting e-levy, the banks are collecting. Why? So we should just be suffering for you to be chopping? No. They have to come up with some better decision in that meeting.
Ebusanti Bernard Avle, no, there. Nini Avro can some it doesn't make sense. What are them? What the Bernard na mavuchim say Bernard Tobo. Na Dr. Bawumia and Obakasa. So in some work and John Dramani Mahama, Nedia or no so the two getting in Dr. Bawumia, head of economic management team, flag bearer for NPP 2024 elections, NAFI, head when it comes to digitalization. Obakasa. About addressing all those issues and as a concern and more reason. Bawumia. Ebusia midi edi Kojo Black Masrawa. So betra wadwen amame e comment section ho. Na obehye video we na afoforo so ensa ebekebi ene afi. Masrawa so be follow him on all social media platforms, Facebook and X. Bibia Trends GH. Your website www.trendsghnews.com. Makram.
Anya do farity. Mama smaka crave na mini wundi enkomo bi. Minia sana online mu eyede. This digital marketing ya etwego internet no do. Bebre nyanko benya hu nimdi kakra. Now so you throw on them there. Businesses bebre aba was scam yenenti. Isro bi wenwa yem pede ye take the leap of faith. Ma me trap in wo plano. Me pede mo just a little overview about this business. Me be share this business anymore. I wasn't that sure. Say a legit business. Now so me take it the leap of faith. I was so skeptical. But now when they make catro, this business or you legit. Sika boom. Me ameni wo kasa ye from Sandra. Me yo yere. Me sound so ye digital marketing entrepreneur. Now, so this business, no, there is no experience or qualification needed. Nursing mothers, doctors, nurses, we are 2 to 3 jobs, part-time, full-time. You can run this business as a side hustle. Just take the leap of faith. My number na go screen in no. For my number in a frame. And now so say come website in mo. Register with any email address. Na me boa wo senya be ya wo so be successful.